Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Ganesh Sagar, and my name of my project is Algorithm Visualization. And ma'am, these are my following group members: Chetan, Koli, Akshay Rathod, Shubham Bagul. So, ma'am, basically, I want to start with the introduction of our project. So, ma'am, as we know, the algorithms they are the vital components, specifically in our industry, in computer and IT industry. So, ma'am, in mean for designing, developing, creating application, or for many more. So, ma'am, as we know that algorithms are used in many fields such as AI, data science, application development. Ma'am, means specifically these algorithms are very important factor, whether for application development or any other fields. So, ma'am, main thing of our main conclusion or main goal of our project is to make it easy to understand how algorithm works, whether it's for students, whether it's for a developer, whether it's for teachers. Because, ma'am, sometimes understanding the algorithms is not easy for each and every person. Some people find it easy, some people find it hard. So, our basic or core idea is to explain the working of various algorithms in a visual format in a simple way without making the process complicated. So here is, ma'am, our problem statement. Basically, ma'am, our project is for educational purpose, specifically for learning. For, ma'am, for example, there is a student who is a beginner. He doesn't have a better understanding, or he's having a hard time understanding the algorithms, working of algorithm. So what our project does is make it easy by visualizing it in a video format, or in any other visualizing format. So by this, ma'am, a user can understand the working of algorithm in depth by or more creatively at with the various perspective or different points of views. So, ma'am, this is our representation. This is an example of how our system dashboard looks exactly. We have provided certain options such as contacting us for getting feedback from the user, or and here you can select the algorithms. For example, now you have selected pathfinding algorithm. So you just give the input to our application, and it shows you in a visual format that how the pathfinding algorithm works. It creates a maze automatically, then it solves it, and it shows you in a visual format. There are other algorithms such as sorting algorithms, searching algorithms, and min-
and other algorithm are there like
you can
pathfinding
yeah,
algorithms.
pathfinding breadth for search or depth for search. So here's an example of a searching algorithm. Ma'am, for let me give you an example for understanding this algorithm. So basically, suppose if you give input as number 84, which is as index number 18, and if you click on search, then, ma'am, what our application does is it shows how the breadth for search works, and it provides you the result that how the algorithm came to the conclusion. As we see, these algorithms are often used in machine learning model or many other IT applications. So sometimes these models act as a black box, because sometimes you are unable to understand that how does a model or an algorithm made a prediction or reach to a certain conclusion, or how it works. So basically, it does the same thing. It visualizes and it gives a deeper and creative understanding of how actually the algorithm process the information. Once the black box label, it removes it, because now completely the process is transparent to the user. Uh,
So
and,
this
ma'am, advancement in technology for our project. Ma'am, main aim of our project, as I explained you earlier, to make it easy to understand in algorithms, how algorithm works, and also we focus on reliability of successful developments toward the hybrid application, as it is very simple but yet very important factor in the development of high scale applications or applications that handle core businesses or all over the world. So there are certain features we are given to the users. The users can be developers, teachers, students, or a normal guy who just is curious about our field of work, IT or computer. So we have worked hard to make ensure that the understanding of these algorithms or the systems is much more easy, efficient, and convenient. And this is some literature view or some research we have conducted to create our project algorithm visualization. So the rest, this literature review, Akshay, my teammate, will explain it to you.
So we refer different research paper. In that research paper, first research paper, we research on the index and card vision board. In that project, we search on the which technique are used in this paper. So this is the second literature review. In that literature review, the card and graphics are used. They how they are works.
Ma'am, actually, basically, what my teammate is going to say that there are variety of techniques we have used and research on, such as index cards, vision boards, or charts, graphs. Basically, any visual formats or techniques that helps us make the visualization of algorithms a lot more easier. So here are a few techniques we have used, as I mentioned, charts and graph, animated bar graphs, which are best suitable for we can say that how sorting algorithm works, and visualizing these sorting algorithms with animations. Then we have e-chess boards, e-queens, chess queens, and graphical simulation of n-queen problems, and much more. So these are some of the techniques used. I mentioned pie, donut charts, histogram, scatter plots, and we can use this, to understand CPU scheduling, k-nearest neighbor algorithms, where we have to cluster the data points into the groups based on their similarities. So here are some much more techniques, and here's the thing: in this paper, ma'am, we only learn all type of CPU scheduling algorithms, also such as mentioned on the screen, maximum resource utilization, minimum response time, CPU allocation. Ma'am, these are the points we have considered very carefully, because these points are very essential for the efficient running or efficient performance of our application. Plus, with the help of this technique, even the user can understand how actually the project works. And here's the ma'am. This is our model system architecture. So as you can see, it can be used by student, teacher, developer. So, ma'am, now I'll explain how our project works. So, basically, ma'am, the user enters the pseudocode or a flowchart in the form of input. Then, what our algorithm or our project does is it converts that pseudocode or application, and it takes the input as a pseudocode or flowchart. Then it start to process it. After it processes it, it represents that code in a graphical format. So this is, ma'am, the actual process. It's very simple, but it's very efficient and easy. And here, ma'am, in the above diagram, we have show our users, means how a user gives the input, and how he gets output, how our system or project processes the input. There are several stages in this process, and for developing this project, we have basically used HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML and CSS, as you know, we have used for the graphical representation for visually appeasing format, and CSS we have used JavaScript to implement our actual logic of the code. And here is the design of our model, ma'am. Basically, first the user starts, means the user designs or writes the code, and he submits it to the application on a user interface. Then the application starts to simulate it, debug it, debug it. It checks whether the code or the pseudocode provided by the user is in a proper or a correct format or not. If the format is wrong, if there are any programming mistakes, then as you can see, it is back propagated and the user has to correct his or her code. After that, once there are no errors in the pseudocode that the user have provided to the system, then what our system does it starts to design a GUI, graphical user interface. Then it starts to simulate and debug. Basically, it starts to process the code to visualize it for the user. If there are no errors, then it presents you in a graphical visual format. It can be bar graph, flow charts, video, animation, images, you name it. So, ma'am, are there any questions that you want to ask us any further? Ma'am, is there anything else you want to ask us related to our project or anything you did not understand? I can explain it.
No, I think there is no question. So thank you so much for your presentation. It was wonderful.